Well, it's finally heating up outside. Before you crank up your air conditioning system, it's very important that you make sure it's in good shape. Brad Apple from Time Plumbing and Heating is with us to show us what he does during a startup and what you need to look for in an air conditioning system to make sure that it's going to operate efficiently, right?
Yes.
And we're going to be giving away some free digital Honeywell digital thermostats, so stick around for that, please. It's a free offer. Now, let's talk about air conditioning. Yes. What's this?
This is Freon in a canister, Freon gauges. Real important if you're having problems with your system that's checked to see where the Freon levels are, and or if it's being serviced, they should be checked every year.
Okay, so you may have to charge it a little, they call that, right?
Yes, and if it's too high on Freon or too low on Freon, the system has to work a lot harder, costs a lot more to operate, so it's not very efficient if it's not adjusted correctly with the Freon levels.
So you check refrigerant levels.
Yes.
Do you check for leaks?
We do check it. Well, if it's low on Freon, gives us a reason to suspect there's a leak, then we can check for leaks in certain areas. If there's very small leaks, there's different methods of tracking them down, but sometimes it can be involved to find where the leak is.
But you can repair those?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you want to make sure you have a sealed system. Mm-hmm. What else? What else is important?
Very important to go through and make sure your filters are clean. If you have restricted airflow through the system, it costs a lot more to operate the system.
Yeah, it does, because the system works harder, right? The more resistance, the harder it works. So you have a few systems to worry about. You have the refrigerant, which is a sealed system, and what that does is that cools the air.
Yes.
And then the air has to flow through this to come into the system, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about that filter.
And this filter here, it's a pleated filter.
A normal pleated filter.
Yeah, you can't see through it. It right off the bat, it restricts about 30 to 50% of the airflow through the system. They work very well on getting fine particles out of the air, but they'll stop up within a month. So these should be changed every month, and if you don't, can create a lot of serious issues with your equipment.
Okay, so if you use one of the thicker ones, it's important to change it every month.
Every month.
Okay, now let's look at this.
This is the one I'd recommend in most houses.
Really, and
it's
I would
more
think
of a
that
see-through.
doesn't filter as much.
It doesn't filter as much, but it's something that can stay in the system for a longer period of time, and your system just naturally, it's so important to have good airflow through the system, and this allows it to have good airflow. A lot less problems with the system, and you can, if you forget to change it in 1 month, you're not going to be burning out very expensive parts in the system.
And it's pretty cheap, these things,
right?
Oh,
these are the inexpensive. They're maybe $1 a filter, and it's good to pick up maybe 5 or 10 of them and just have them on hand and change them as they're needed.
And when are they needed? When do you have to change them?
It varies with houses and how clean the house is, how much the systems are used, if you have just heating or air conditioning, but it should be done at least twice a year. And sometimes 4 times a year.
Okay, now, central AC works on your furnace, and your furnace has to be in good shape too, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so we can talk about that in a second, because this goes on the furnace, right?
Yeah, yes.
And this goes on the furnace, and this is a higher level of filtration.
It is. These are just amazing air cleaners. They're Trane Clean Effects, or it's made by Trane.
So this is an air cleaner, but everything really flows through this thing and gets electrically zapped, right?
Correct. It gets electrically zapped.
So the dust particles come out of the air.
Trane has done it theirs in a different way. There's been electric air cleaners in the industry for many years.
Yes.
This is twice as efficient as any other air cleaner in the industry.
Open up that front and
it
take
operates.
it out.
It'll remove basically 99.98% of any allergens in the area. So anyone that has allergies.
It's good, huh?
It's very good. It'll give you a home environment where you're not susceptible to all the effects of allergies that you may have.
And this is a filter, that's a filter.
This is a filter. It's a clear filter. You can see through it.
Plus you have this thing, and let me explain what this thing does here. This thing is where the static happens, right? This is where the particles are zapped, so to speak. And they basically get zapped and filtered out.
Yes.
And so this is way better than a normal paper filter, but more expensive.
Correct. They're over 100 times more filtration than a 1-inch filter will produce.
Wow.
So very, very efficient.
And it's good for, as you say, allergies. So let's talk, let's talk about the furnace. You do have to check the furnace, the blower motor, because there are certain areas of the furnace used for air conditioning.
Yes.
Like, what is used? The air moving equipment, right?
Correct. The fan and that moves the air, those need to be serviced, cleaned, oiled. Just it's very important to go through and service your furnace system and your air conditioning system to get it ready for the season.
Okay, and then that'll, of course, keep it not only running efficiently, but it will save you money, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Because when something runs efficiently,
it saves money, and the equipment inside is going to last longer.
Now, let's go to the offer. You want to give away a free digital thermostat with any startup of the air conditioning or sprinkler system, right?
Yes, Tom.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and give away a free Honeywell digital thermostat. The value is $100 on these with any of the startups we're doing for the next 20 callers.
Okay, so here it is. Ready? A free Honeywell digital thermostat with startup on the air conditioning system or the sprinkler system. So you do sprinkler system startups as well.
Yes.
Now, the service is only $90, normally $120, but it's for the first 20 callers only. And remember, you'll get a free digital thermostat with any startup service, and it's for the next 20 callers.
And we're happy to do it because we work hard at making our customers happy.
And that's why I recommend Time Plumbing and Heating.
And your viewers won't be disappointed with our spring startups for only $90 and a new Honeywell digital thermostat for free. That's a $100 value, but only for the next 20 callers. Has anyone mentioned our new interactive website yet?
No? Why don't you do it?
Sure, I'd love to. It's easy and fun to use, with a lot of great, helpful information. There's answers to plumbing and heating questions, all kinds of sales, discounts, and fun stuff. It's simple. Just go to 303plumber.com. That's 303plumber.com. Or you can simply dial 303-PLUMBER to contact us. That's 303-758-6237. Oh, and remember, we'll fix it right, day or night. Time to go!
Remember our number, 303-PLUMBER. Remember our number, 303-PLUMBER.
And once again, that's 303-PLUMBER, 303-758-6237, or online at 303plumber.com.